Hi, we're going to continue our discussion of thermometry by talking about procedural standards. And the procedural standards that we're going to look at are the ASOS algorithms and also the reports that are made in METARs. The Vaisala HO83 hygrothermometer, which has a resistance type detector, reports every 10 seconds to the acquisition control unit. Every 10 seconds is 6 times per minute. The ACU also does 3 quality assurance checks. It performs an upper and lower limit check, a rate of change check, and also a cross comparison with the dew point sensor check. The upper and lower limits, it just makes sure that the temperature is within the range of the sensor, which is plus 130 degrees Fahrenheit all the way down to minus 58 degrees Fahrenheit. If the temperature is outside of that range, there's a problem. Another check it does is the rate of change check. That is checking to make sure that the temperature isn't going out of range quickly. And what it does, it looks at the current 1 minute average, and if it differs by more than 10 degrees Fahrenheit in the last 2 minutes, then it'll report the temperature is missing. Then it also performs a cross comparison with the dew point sensor. Of course, you can't have a dew point that's higher than the temperature, so it checks to make sure that the current 1 minute temperature average is less than the dew point by 2 degrees Fahrenheit. If it is, then it will make the dew point the same temperature as the air temperature. However, if the current 1 minute temperature average is less than the dew point by more than 2 degrees Fahrenheit, say 4 or 5 degrees, where the temperature is much less than the dew point, then there's a problem probably with the dew point sensor, and it'll report the dew point sensor is missing. Then there are other reports that you'll see in the hourly surface observations and also special observations. And we'll start out with the hourly temperature and dew point. The hourly temperature is reported in the main body of the METAR using only 2 digits, rounded to the nearest degree Celsius. Also, there is a sign that is appended if the temperature is less than 0 degrees Celsius, and the sign would be M for minus. There is also in the remarks section an hourly temperature and dew point group, which is also known as the T group because it starts with T. It first gives you, or the T tells you that this is the hourly temperature. After that, it gives you lots of numbers. The first 4 numbers represent the temperature. The second 4 numbers represent the dew point. The temperature, the very first number, which is highlighted in red at the bottom here, in this case it's a 0, indicates the sign of the temperature. If you see a 0, then it's positive. If it's 1, then it's less than 0. In other words, negative. After that, it gives you the temperature, and then of course the dew point in the other 4 numbers, but the temperature in 3 numbers. And it'll give you tens, units, and then also tenths. So it reports the dew point to the nearest tenth. The 6-hour maximum temperature group, or the 1 group, gives you the temperature, the maximum temperature over the last 6 hours. Uses a similar convention for the sign. 0 is positive, 1 is negative, and then it reports the 6-hour maximum temperature in tens, units, and tenths of degrees Celsius. For example, in the red here, you see it's 10056. 1 indicates that it's the 6-hour maximum. 0 indicates it's positive. And then 05.6 is the temperature, the maximum temperature to the nearest tenth of a degree. Likewise, they also report the 6-hour minimum temperature. Of course, this is every 6 hours. And uses the same convention, but this starts out with a 2. It's the 2 group. And the 2 group is reported very similar to the 1 group, except of course it's the minimum temperature. And the last group that deals with temperature is the 24-hour maximum and minimum temperature, otherwise known as the 4 group. And the 4 group gives you the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature over the past 24 hours. This is reported at local midnight, and it uses the same convention as the 6-hour maximum and minimum, where it has a sign and then also reports the temperature in tens, units, and tenths. So that's a lot of information, but I hope it's useful. Take care.